Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to be giving you a deck-by-deck tour of the Explorer of the Seas. So come along with me and see what this ship has to offer. If you're just tuning in, we spent 10 nights on board the Explorer of the Seas for a Southern Caribbean cruise. In my previous videos, I've shared what our boarding experience was like and a thorough overview of our interior promenade view cabin, so be sure to check those out. They're linked in the description below. Now in this video, I'll be highlighting what the ship has to offer, so let's go take a look. Alright, now I'm going to do a deck-by-deck tour of this ship, starting on deck number 1, working all the way up to deck number 15. However, I must caveat by saying that I do not have access to any of the Diamond Plus areas, so those will not be shown in this video. On the first deck is where you'll find the medical facility. If you have any medical needs while on the ship, you can go here to see a doctor, and the hours are posted outside the door. Now on to deck 2, and we'll start in the conference center. There is a small conference reception desk and then a little lobby area plus a conference room. There was a knitting event happening, so unfortunately I couldn't look inside. And then the rest of deck 2 was staterooms. On to deck 3, and here are a few more public places, starting with Studio B, which is a unique event area because they actually have an ice rink on board the ship. When you enter, there is a small bar in the corner, and there are some higher bar tables and chairs here, and also theater-style seating around the rink. Here they host various events and evening shows, and during the day they also have open ice skating time for guests. Just beside Studio B is the Focus Photo Gallery, and this is where you can go see the photos taken of you throughout the cruise. And at the back of the ship is the Sapphire Dining Room, and this is where the entrance is for My Time Dining. Now let's head up to Deck 4, and we'll start at the front of the ship and work our way back. Here you can see that there's actually an entrance to the theater on both decks 3 and 4, but you cannot get to the third deck entrance from the back of the ship. Inside the theater, they have comfortable seating, and this is where you'll meet for most of your ship excursions, and they use this venue for evening shows and entertainment. Outside of the theater area, here is the Schooner Bar, which is a nautical-themed lounge with warm lighting and a grand piano for evening entertainment. On this ship, they also hosted trivia here daily. And just across from that is Giovanni's Table, which is the Italian specialty dining venue that is not included in your cruise fare. You will have to pay separately to dine here. Continuing past the Schooner Bar and Giovanni's Table is some additional seating and the entrance to the Casino Royale. They have everything from slots to table games here, and there's a bar located conveniently in the center of the casino. Smoking is permitted here. The other entrance of the casino takes you to the art gallery as seen here on the left, a main staircase from decks 3 to 5, and on the right is the tavern bar, which is where they play sports games throughout the cruise. And at the back of the ship is Deck 4 of the Sapphire Dining Room, which is scheduled seating dining and offers the same menu in the dining room on decks 3 and 5 each day. There are doors here at the back of the ship that take you outside to the deck where you can walk around the ship. There's some seating here around the perimeter, and on one side there is a small smoking area. You can also walk out to the very front of the ship here for a viewing area. However, I forgot to film here, so you'll just have to check it out for yourself. Now on to Deck 5, which is one of the main public areas on board, and we will continue at the back of the ship in the Sapphire Dining Room. Here you can see the entrance is similar to decks 3 and 4, but the layout is slightly different inside, and you get a great view of all 3 levels of dining from up here. Moving toward the front of the ship, you have the guest services desk, which conveniently has an ATM right beside it if you do need cash throughout your cruise. And you can also find the shore excursion desk here for any inquiries or bookings. Across the ship is the R Bar, which is a retro-style bar specializing in classic-style cocktails. And just outside of the bar is the Voom internet desk if you need any support with your internet package. Now let's walk through the Royal Promenade, which is full of different shops along this end of the ship, ranging from clothing, jewelry, souvenirs, and other essential items you may need throughout the cruise. Toward the center is where you'll find the Crown and Kettle Pub, which was a favorite location of ours throughout the week. They had promenade seating and seats inside as well, where there was usually a live performer each night. And just outside, you'll see that there are also some stairs down to the casino for easy access. Toward the front of the ship is Cafe Promenade, where you can purchase Starbucks coffee and Ben & Jerry's ice cream. But inside, they also have pizza, sandwiches, and desserts that are included with your cruise fare. There is seating both inside the cafe and out on the promenade. And at the front of the ship is the Star Lounge, which was another of our favorite spots. On the way in, there is the Connoisseur Club, which is a designated cigar lounge with big leather club chairs and couches and wood paneling like an old-fashioned cigar room. And inside the Star Lounge is a bar with some seating and plenty of couches and chairs. There's a dance floor and stage where they hosted live music, entertainment shows, dancing, and karaoke. Now on to Deck 6, which was mostly staterooms, but there was also one public area, the Next Cruise office. If you're looking to book your next cruise with Royal, you can check out the special pricing on board. Deck 7 was also mostly staterooms, but here you could find the card room and library. There were books and games on the shelves, and a few tables and chairs here to read or stay and play your games. There were some chairs by the windows overlooking the promenade to enjoy the views or sit and read a book. Deck 8 was similar with mostly staterooms, including ours, but this is where you could also find RC Online, which was a small room overlooking the library with desks and computers. There was also a printer here if you needed it. Decks 9 and 10 were primarily just staterooms, but on Deck 9 you could also find the Concierge Club, which we did not have access to. Deck 11 is where you'll find more of the public amenities, starting at the back of the ship, where you can find an overlook from Deck 11 all the way down to what looked like Deck 4. Behind this is also where you'll find the entrance to the Windjammer, which is the main buffet on board the ship. There is seating all around the perimeter and at the back of the ship, and there are about 3 zones of the buffet areas, one on each side and one at the back. They basically offer all of the same food options with slight variations. Throughout the buffet, there are self-serve drink stations around for coffee, tea, water, and juice, and there are soft drink refill stations if you have the special cup from your drink package. Outside of the Windjammer, you will also find the entrance to Chops Grill, which is another specialty restaurant that is not included in your cruise fare. You would have to pay separately or purchase a dining package to dine here. The menu offers classic steakhouse options. Now let's venture outside to find the pool deck. Here they had 2 pools with seating around the perimeter of the whole deck area. There was also a small covered stage where they had live music playing or a DJ, or used it for different information booths throughout the cruise. There were also a few whirlpools here, some were covered and some were open. There was a pool bar with some stools located toward the middle of the ship, and here's a view of the area from the deck above. Depending on the time of day, there can be shade and sun seats available. Continuing to the front of the ship is where you will find the solarium, which is the adults-only area with 2 hot tubs and a small pool. There is also a bar here with some bar seating. It's partially covered, but the pool area is open and does get some good sun. You have to get here really early though if you want chairs, because this place fills up fast and basically stays full throughout the day. Here's another view of the area at night, and you can still use the whirlpools in the evening. At the front of the ship, you can go outside to the viewing deck area. This area will take you around the full front of the ship, and there's also a spot where you can look into the bridge. Going back inside and to the front of the ship is where you'll find the Vitality at Sea Fitness Center and Spa. On this level, you can access the fitness center and go up a level to access the spa. There's a whirlpool here and plenty of cardio machines, weights, other gym equipment, and a room that's used for yoga, aerobics, and cycling classes. Now let's move up to deck number 12, starting about midship area at the sky bar. This is also accessible from the pool deck on deck 11 via a couple of sets of stairs. There is a covered bar seating area and also open seating with tables and chairs. Up here is also where you'll find the sun deck with loungers around the perimeter of the pool area. So if you can't find seats on the actual pool deck, you can always come up here and still have a convenient bar location and access to the pool. On this deck, you'll also find the running track. Some people run, lightly jog, or just walk around the track. It does get kind of crowded during peak daytime, so if you want to actually run, I think the morning or evening would be best. Inside is where you'll find Optics Teen Disco, which I only filmed from the outside since I'm not a teen and did not want to disturb their fun. And beside that is the Adventure Ocean, where you will find the arcade that has tons of different games available. Beside that is the Aquanauts Kid Program area, where you can bring smaller children to play. Back outside and toward the back of the ship, you can find Johnny Rockets, which is also not included in your cruise fare. So if you want to dine here, you'll have to pay separately. We finally decided to dine here because we had an onboard credit to use, and the portion sizes were massive. There's indoor seating that looks like a retro diner and outdoor booth seating with ocean views. Behind the diner is the outdoor youth area with ping pong tables and some other outdoor games, plus some lounge seating and a few lounge chairs overlooking the water. There's an entrance to the Crown Lounge, which we didn't have access to, and you can also take the stairs here to access Explorer Dunes and more of the outside attractions on Deck 13. So let's take a look at what Deck 13 has to offer, starting from the elevator bay that leads out to the sports court and Perfect Storm. Explorer Dunes is a mini golf course that runs along the side of the ship, and it's included in your cruise fare. The course is first come, first served, and is a fun activity for passengers of any age. Well, maybe not babies or really young children, but everybody else. At the back of the ship is FlowRider, which is a surf simulator. We've never been brave enough to try this, but enjoy watching others who have far greater skills than us. And behind this is the access to the Perfect Storm water slides. These are also free and popular for kids and kids at heart. More toward the center of the ship is the sports court. They have basketball nets, and on the day we visited, it looked like it was set up for tennis or pickleball. Right behind that is a rock climbing wall, so if you're interested in rock climbing at sea, you can do that on this ship. Now let's go up to deck 14, and this is where you'll find the Viking Crown Lounge, a nice quiet area to sit in comfortable seats, enjoy the ocean views, and you can overlook the ship here. There's also the Crown Lounge that I couldn't go in but tried to sneak a peek here, and Dizzy's, which is another bar area. Izumi is also located on this deck, and it's a Japanese-inspired specialty restaurant that is an extra charge to dine here, or you need a dining package. During my visit, there was a sushi making class taking place here, which is an at-sea activity you can pay to participate in. And lastly, deck 15 is where you will find the Skylight Chapel. I didn't actually film here, but here's a look of where you'll find it on the ship. Well, I hope you enjoyed seeing around the Explorer of the Seas and what this ship has to offer in terms of amenities. If you like this video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell because I have even more cruise videos coming your way. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.